Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. Today we're talking about meal prep for busy days. If you've ever looked at the clock at 7 p.m. and thought, what am I going to eat? This episode is for you.
That sounds very relatable. Meal prep means preparing food ahead of time, right? It can mean cooking full meals, chopping vegetables, or just planning what you will eat during the week.
Exactly. And that word prepare is useful. To prepare means to get something ready before you need it. So meal prep is all about saving time and reducing stress later. It's a simple habit, but it can make your week feel much easier.
I like that. It also saves money, because when people are hungry and tired, they often order expensive food delivery or buy snacks they do not really need. Meal prep can help you make smarter choices.
Yes, and that brings us to a good expression, make a plan. When you make a plan, you decide what you're going to do before the moment arrives. In this case, the plan might be, cook rice, roast vegetables, and prepare protein for 3 lunches.
Protein is a great vocabulary word here. Protein is a nutrient that helps your body grow and stay strong. Common protein foods include eggs, beans, chicken, tofu, yogurt, fish, and lentils. If you want balanced meals, a good tip is to include protein, vegetables, and some kind of carbohydrate like rice, pasta, bread, or potatoes.
That balance is important. Another useful word is portion. A portion is the amount of food you eat at one time. Meal prep helps you control portions, so you do not accidentally make your meals too large. That can be helpful if you want more energy and less waste.
I used to think meal prep had to be complicated, but it really doesn't. You do not need 5 different fancy recipes. You can start small. For example, cook 1 pot of soup, 1 tray of roasted vegetables, and 1 batch of rice. Then mix and match them during the week.
Mix and match is a nice phrase. It means you combine different things in different ways. So if you have rice, vegetables, and chicken, you can make a bowl one day and wrap them in a tortilla the next day. Same ingredients, different meals.
That's a practical tip for English learners too. When you learn one expression like mix and match, try using it in real life. It's easier to remember vocabulary when it connects to something useful. Meal prep is a perfect example because you can describe your routine with everyday language.
Let's talk about the first step, choose your meals. A lot of people feel overwhelmed by too many options. Overwhelmed means stressed because there is too much to choose from. To avoid that, pick 3 simple meals for the week instead of 7 complicated ones.
Good idea. You could choose 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, and 1 dinner option, or maybe 2 lunch options and 1 snack idea. For example, overnight oats for breakfast, a chicken and rice bowl for lunch, and pasta with vegetables for dinner. Simple is often better.
Overnight oats are another useful phrase. Oats are a grain, and overnight oats are made by soaking them in milk or yogurt in the refrigerator overnight. They are easy, healthy, and great for busy mornings. That's a wonderful example of convenience food that is still nutritious.
Convenience food is food that is quick and easy to use. Sometimes people think convenience food is always unhealthy, but not necessarily. If you prepare fruit, yogurt, boiled eggs, or chopped vegetables in advance, that is also convenient.
Right. Another important word is batch cooking. Batch cooking means cooking a large amount of food at one time, then dividing it into smaller servings. For example, you can cook enough chili for 4 lunches and store it in containers.
Containers are essential. A container is something you use to store food, like a box or a jar. Clear containers can be helpful because you can see what is inside. If the food is visible, you are more likely to eat it before it spoils.
Spoils is a great word. If food spoils, it goes bad and is no longer safe or pleasant to eat. So meal prep should always include food safety. Keep cold food in the refrigerator, use clean utensils, and don't leave cooked food out too long.
That's a very practical reminder. I also think labeling is useful. You can write the date on each container. Labeling means putting information on something so you know what it is or when you made it. That way, you do not forget which meal was prepared first.
Yes, labeling helps with organization. And organization is another key idea today. When your kitchen is organized, you waste less time looking for ingredients. You can make a list before shopping and check what you already have at home.
A shopping list is a powerful tool. It reduces impulse buying, which means buying something suddenly without planning. If you shop with a list, you are more likely to buy what you actually need for your meal prep goals.
Let's give listeners a simple system. First, choose a protein. Second, choose a vegetable. Third, choose a starch or carbohydrate. Fourth, choose a sauce or seasoning. Seasoning means salt, pepper, herbs, spices, or anything that gives food flavor.
A sauce can make simple food much more interesting. For example, grilled chicken and broccoli might taste good with lemon and garlic, or with a yogurt sauce, or with a spicy peanut sauce. Same base ingredients, different flavor.
That leads to another useful phrase, save time. Meal prep is not only about cooking. It's also about reducing decisions. When lunch is already ready, you do not need to ask yourself, what should I eat? That mental energy can go to more important things.
Mental energy is a nice way to say the energy your brain uses for thinking and decisions. And honestly, after a long workday, many people have very little mental energy left. Meal prep can make dinner feel easier because the hardest part is already done.
If someone is new to meal prep, I would suggest starting with 1 day a week. Maybe Sunday afternoon or Monday evening. Spend 1 hour preparing a few basic foods. After that, you can test the system and adjust it.
Adjust is an important verb. It means to change something a little so it works better. Maybe you learn that you do not like eating the same lunch 5 days in a row. Then you adjust by preparing 2 different lunches instead of 1.
Exactly. Flexibility matters. Meal prep should make life easier, not create pressure. If a plan feels too strict, people often stop doing it. So it is better to build a routine that feels realistic.
Realistic means possible in real life, not just in theory. For example, if you are very busy, do not plan a 5-course meal prep session. Plan something realistic, like washing fruit, cooking grains, and making 1 simple sauce.
Here's a vocabulary tip for listeners. The phrase healthy habits is very common. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking. Meal prep can become one of your healthy habits, like drinking water, walking, or sleeping well.
And healthy habits usually work best when they are easy to repeat. That is why the first version of your meal prep routine should be simple. You want a habit you can actually keep, not a perfect system you abandon after 1 week.
Let's imagine a beginner meal prep day. You could roast carrots and potatoes, cook rice, boil eggs, and wash some lettuce. Then you can combine those foods in different ways. On Monday you eat a bowl. On Tuesday you make a wrap. On Wednesday you have a salad.
I like that because it shows variety. Variety means different choices or differences. Even with a few ingredients, you can create variety by changing the sauce, the spices, or the way you serve the food.
Another tip is to keep some emergency food at home. For example, canned beans, frozen vegetables, tuna, whole grain bread, or instant oats. Emergency food does not mean disaster food. It just means quick backup options when you are too tired to cook.
That is a smart phrase, backup options. Everyone needs a backup plan sometimes. If your meal prep container breaks or you forget to cook, backup options stop you from ordering something unhealthy every time.
Before we finish, I want to highlight one more expression, on hand. If you have ingredients on hand, you already have them available and ready to use. Having onions, garlic, and rice on hand can make cooking much faster.
Good phrase. I also think meal prep builds confidence. When you know you can feed yourself well, even on a busy day, life feels a little more manageable. It's not just about food. It's about feeling prepared.
So let's recap the key points. Meal prep means preparing food ahead of time to save time, money, and stress. Start small, choose simple meals, use batch cooking, and keep food safe with containers and labels. Use practical vocabulary like portion, seasoning, backup options, and adjust your routine when needed.
And remember, the best meal prep plan is the one you can repeat. Keep it simple, flexible, and realistic. Thanks for listening to the English Daily Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe for more clear, useful English practice, and we'll see you next time.